A Starlit Question, a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction written and narrated by Eleanor Rose. Artwork provided by A Miraculous Platypus on Tumblr. You can find a link to her social media in the description box below. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and check out other videos on this channel for more fanfiction. If you find the narration speed to be either too fast or too slow, you can adjust it by clicking the settings icon on the video.
Listen, Mare, I'm telling you it's a fart.
Marinette rolled her eyes, knowing Cat Noir was being silly, not ignorant. No, Cat! The flashing light is a satellite!
I'm pretty sure it's a star farting, he continued, adjusting his head on her stomach.
They were lying on the porch of an Airbnb he rented out in the countryside after coming home with an astrology book demanding to see the stars. Marinette didn't know what kind of life this boy led thus far, but apparently he'd never seen a sky full of them until tonight. You're ridiculous. She ran her fingers through his hair, feeling a tingle course through her as they laid on their backs together.
Look, it farted again.
You are so gross, Marinette said, letting a chuckle escape her.
You're the one laughing at it.
Wipe that catnip-eating grin off your face.
It's too dark for you to even see it.
She laughed at his retort, staring up at the sky. Silence passed between them, as it often did, but its presence was welcome and comfortable.
Okay, so, idea,
Cat said, drawing her back to reality.
Hot chocolate.
Do we have what we need for it?
Yeah. I'm not a sleepover amateur.
I thought you said you'd never had a sleepover before, she teased, giving his hair an extra toss.
You got me.
Although, this isn't a sleepover. You kidnapped me from the balcony, remember?
You got me again.
You're ridiculous.
You keep calling me that. Do I finally have a pet name, princess?
She pushed him off her stomach and stood up. That hot chocolate isn't going to make itself, she said. Marinette heard him scramble up to follow her inside. While she would have preferred to hide her flushed face in the cover of the night, she could still blame it on the breeze. Recently, her relationship with Cat Noir was tangled, a cacophony of what she knew about him as Ladybug and new inside jokes as he started hanging out with her as Marinette. It had all started after a mishap while spring cleaning, but once he started to check up on her, he didn't stop. It was nice, but now Marinette didn't know what it all meant. They were friends, right? Probably, yeah. Cat was a great friend. A great friend. If she were to be honest, this relationship with Cat was nice. She was able to explore time with him in a way she couldn't allow herself to when she was Ladybug. There was something different about it she couldn't place her finger on, and she was a bit scared to try and figure it out. What if she didn't like the reason? But she had to know. She had to know what was going on. Cat? She said, grabbing the kettle.
Yeah?
He waddled up to her, wrapped in a blanket. When she didn't respond, he lifted an arm, an invitation to join her beneath the fabric. What are we? He blinked in surprise, then grinned.
Friends, right?
Okay, good. Friends. She returned his smile and turned back to the kettle, face burning. She'd started to assume he thought of them as something else. Her cheeks burned in embarrassment, wishing her ego hadn't jumped to conclusions. Marinette quickly changed the subject, stumbling along her words enough times to reveal how flustered she was. Oops. Cat was his usual self, polite and not drawing attention to her flaws. She wished she could be more like him during times like this.
Do you think we could be something more? Cat asked, staring in his mug.
What?
Marinette looked up, confused by what he meant by the question. Then friends.
Oh.
She blinked, still processing.
Oh.
Did he mean... I mean, if you don't want to be, that's cool, but, like... He cut himself off, and for once Marinette couldn't get a read on his expression. Never mind. Forget I said anything. He stood, picking up the tableware and taking it to the sink. Marinette was able to wear her heart on her sleeve now that his back was turned to her. Like, what? What? What just happened? Something changed between the two of them just now, and all she could say was, "Oh? Oh?" Oh. Do you mean, like, dating? She asked, leaning back and pretending she was nonchalant like Ladybug. She watched his shoulder stiffen, a tell before an answer. I mean, I don't have a great amount of experience dating girls, but... But? I mean, I like where things are now, but I wouldn't mind, well... Marinette wasn't used to seeing Cat get bashful. Was this really the same guy who made fart jokes 10 minutes ago? You wouldn't mind. Okay, that sounds bad, he sighed. I would like to. Like to what? Date you. He turned to look at her, and she recognized the look on his face all too well. It's a look he'd worn for Ladybug once. It tugged at her heart like it always did, but this time she could do something about it. Date me? You're opposed? That's not what I said. He sighed and ran a hand through his hair. I mean, I can't tell you my secret identity or anything, but... That's okay. Sorry, I'm really bad at this, huh? If you mean asking someone out, then yes. Yes, you are. He shrugged and attempted a smile, crossing his arms as he leaned back on the sink. So, Marinette, will you go out with me? She should take her time answering. This will determine what happens from here on out between the two of them, for better or for worse. This will... Sure. Really? His arms split apart as he jerked forward in surprise. Yeah, we've got a good thing going between the two of us. Why not explore it? A grin of relief spread across his face. Okay. Great. We will need to figure out logistics, however. Okay. And you're an idol, so we need to set some ground rules so I don't end up harassed. Absolutely. And don't forget this. Don't forget what? Cat asked, watching her stand up and make her way over. This, silly. She pressed her lips to his, balancing on the balls of her feet. Marinette didn't linger, but she could feel his lips contort into a smile. Oh? Cat murmured, eyes still closed when she turned to put her dishes away. For good luck. I'll take as much as I can get, he said, placing a hand on her shoulder. It wasn't the first time he'd done that, but now it made her feel all tingly. With just a kiss, or maybe it was their words, everything had changed. His arms were around her now, hugging her from behind as she did the dishes. Hey, Marinette, he said, whispering into her ear. Yes? Wanna go look at some more star farts? She sighed, drying her hands. Yes, Cat, we can go see some more star farts. He gave her hand a squeeze and led her outside, the same catnip-eating grin making itself at home as when they left the porch 15 minutes before. "Thank you," he said, barely audible as he wrapped the two of them in the blanket. "Same to you," Marinette replied, closing her eyes as she put her head on his shoulders. This was nice. This was nice with him. And although Marinette could spend time sorting out the swirling thoughts she had, she didn't. She wanted to enjoy this moment with him. After all, this was the first moment where Cat Noir wasn't just a friend. Thank you so much for listening, and another thank you goes out to A Miraculous Platypus for letting me use their art. Once again, you can find a link to their social media in the description box below, and you can check out other videos on this channel for more fan fiction. I'll catch you next time!